Then the Most High chose and appointed those who were to be occupied in this exalted service, the guardianship of Mary, from each of the 9 choirs of angels. He selected 100, being 900 in all. Moreover, he assigned 12 others who should in a special manner assist Mary in corporeal and visible forms, and they were to bear the emblems or escutcheons of the redemption. These are the 12 which are mentioned in the 21st chapter of the Apocalypse as guarding the portals of the city. Of them I will speak in the explanation of that chapter later on. Besides these, the Lord assigned 18 other angels selected from the highest ranks, who were to ascend and descend by that mystical stairs of Jacob with the message of the Queen to His Majesty and those of the Lord to her. For many times did she send them to the Eternal Father in order to be governed in all her actions by the Holy Spirit. She did nothing except what pleased the Almighty, and His pleasures she sought even in most insignificant things. Whenever she was not instructed by special enlightenment, she sent these holy angels to the Lord in order to represent her doubt and signify her desire to do what was most pleasing to the divine will, and in order to be informed of His pleasure, as we shall relate in the course of this history. In addition to all these holy angels, the Almighty assigned and appointed 70 seraphim, choosing them from the highest ranks and from those nearest to the divinity, in order that they might communicate and converse with this Princess of Heaven in the same way as they themselves have intercourse with each other, and as the higher communicate with the lower ones. This was a privilege conferred upon the Mother of God because she was to be a wayfarer on earth and in nature inferior, though in dignity and grace superior to all the seraphim. When at one time the Lord withdrew and hid Himself from her, as we shall see later on, these 70 seraphim enlightened her and consoled her. To them she poured out the longings of her most ardent love and her anxieties in regard to her hidden treasure. That there were 70 of these spirits had reference to the number of years of her life, which was 70 and not 60, as I will explain in its place. Among this number are included the 60 strong ones, which in the Canticles are mentioned as guarding the chamber or couch of Solomon, their loins girded with swords against the terror of the night. These mighty princes and captains were assigned as a guard of the Queen of Heaven from among the highest orders of the angelic hierarchy. For these, in that ancient battle of the obedient spirits with the proud dragon, were as the armed champions of the Lord of all creation, encountering and overcoming Lucifer and all his apostates with the sword of their virtue and of the divine word. Hence, because they distinguished themselves in that great battle and victory by their zeal for the honor of the Almighty, and had been valiant and skillful captains in the divine love, and as they so zealously defended the honor of their captain and Lord and of His most holy Mother by the arms of divine grace given to them in view of the merits of the incarnate Word, therefore it is said that they guard the couch of Solomon, that they form his guard, girded with the sword about the loins. For thus is indicated the human generation or humanity of Christ, conceived in the virginal chamber of Mary, of her most pure blood and substance. The other 10 seraphim, which complete the number of 70, were likewise chosen from the more distinguished leaders of those who, in their opposition to the dragon, had manifested a greater reverence for the divinity and humanity of the Word and for His most holy Mother. For all this was determined during that brief conflict of the holy angels. It was one of the principal distinctions merited by them at the time that they were to be selected as guardians of their Queen and Lady. Altogether, 1,000 angels were chosen from the seraphim and the lower orders of angels, and thus the city of God was superabundantly fortified against the infernal hosts.